G'day legends, we've finally hit the 100,000k mark, just under 3 years of cruising this beautiful state and country. The reason for this video is I need to change shit up. My original layout for my auto electrics was amazing at the time. Now though, it's just not quite working for me. I need to change some stuff around. After 3 years, I've really worked out where I need things, where I want things, and where it'll be most beneficial, and just to simplify it all. I've had too many auto sparkies go through the car and basically change stuff around, move some wires around, different layouts that have ultimately caused issues. You know, the old too many cooks in the kitchen. So I'm going to Klarmann Automotive Solutions, and Heiner is going to strip back everything and basically rebuild it in one central, basically hub motherboard. Have everything come into one place instead of cords going everywhere, which is ultimately what it is now, because the way I'm touring now is very different to the way I was touring. And with the next few years ahead, I'm going to need a very reliable system. And that's why I'm getting the best in the business to help me out with this, because it's long overdue. And nothing shits me more than having a bad auto electric setup in the car.
All right, come on, up. Good boy.
Tied up with all of the ways that'll carry.
G'day guys, we've made it down to Klarmann Automotive Solutions. Good mate Heiner here, who's basically going to tell us what the plan is, how we're going to basically make this dual battery and ultimately the whole car setup better, suited to what we've got coming up in the next 3 years. So Heiner, what have we kind of got planned for this install?
So first of all, hello, and thanks for coming in here.
No worries, mate.
First thing we want to do is put a proper power distribution in there. So we use our Egan DC hub and bracket to put it in there, so you got one central point where everything connects together. That usually makes for a lot better installation down to voltage drop wise and serviceability as well, so you don't end up with things cluttered all over the place.
Because that's a whole issue I'm going through, which I've mentioned before. I've had 4 different auto sparkies go through the car and change stuff to suit their general way of the layout, and it's caused absolute headaches when it's trying to find problems and work out what the hell's going on and why different things aren't working. So the central hub, mate.
Yeah, so that I think that'll be a good idea for you. We also put the new Redarc Red Vision Manager / display in there. We don't use the TVMS, so we won't have the switching through the display, but we've got that cool new display that will tell you what's happening, and it will also give you Bluetooth connectivity, so you can be in the front and see on your smartphone what your charging system is doing.
Not while I'm driving.
Ah, you can, if it's in a cradle, if you know what I mean. As you do.
With this build is just to simplify the hell out of the back of the car. Like I said, there's too much going on. When it comes to auto sparky work, it may as well be a whole nother planet, which I know nothing of. So to have it all done in one place, all the gear is found right here. It's not a matter of sourcing, you know, everything they need from 5 different shops. So if anything did go wrong, which I'm sure it won't, but if anything did, this is where you find it. This is where you get your spare parts.
Yeah. The idea about this is as well that you can only be as good as the products that you're using for your install. It is important to have good quality connectors, but it's also really important to have the right brackets for the right application. So we're trying to have all these little bits and pieces where you go, oh, I wish we had that, but it takes too long to get it now. No, we've got this little warehouse here that we just use from the workshop, and we take all the bits and pieces out, but at the same time people can just come in for their do-it-yourself projects, walk through the door and use the exact same gear that we use in the workshop for their do-it-yourself project.
And I think that's what's important, is a lot of people do want to kind of get their hands dirty in a way and just learn a little bit more about their auto electrics.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of people are watching, for just the smaller jobs, watching YouTube and like, okay, I know what I need to do, now I just need to get the right parts, and to be able to come here and actually get what you need, I think is very valuable, because a lot of people are trying to do the smaller DIY stuff.
That's right. And
and then for the bigger clean sweep projects,
yeah,
come through and get everything done all in one go.
Yeah, and we also give advice to people who've got a question. So if you come in and you go, oh, I'm not 100% sure, and if it's small advice, we're more than happy. You know, we have a chat with people that come through here.
You don't want to give them the blueprint as to how to set up the whole thing.
We do that as well. But if people know how to read it, we just go like here, just copy paste. There's wire gauge numbers on there.
Yeah.
But it's just the small things where people go, I want to install a DC-DC charger. What cable do I need? What fuse holders do I need? Because you will know, if you attempt that for the first time, you know, you haven't got the experience. So we share our experience.
Good.
But obviously if somebody comes through and goes like, all right, I want to do a whole vehicle build, can you engineer the system for me? We go like, yes, we can do that as well, but there will be cost involved with that, because obviously it takes us a lot of time as well. But small things, we just help everybody out that comes in here.
So what are some of the builds you've been doing lately? Like, is there any kind of new products or new designs that you're kind of trying to push?
Obviously the Egan DC hub.
Yeah.
We've used that a lot, and we keep on using that a lot now. Our battery box is becoming quite popular.
Saw that in the back of Ronnie's car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's quite happy with it, and so's been the feedback from all the other people that used it as well. The cool thing is that it is a full-blown dual battery system, very much to what you will get in yours. Yeah. A little bit smaller, but you can just cart it around. You can just take it out of the car, you can put it in your tinny.
Oh really?
You can, it's just unplug it, take it with you, plug the fridge in there, plug a solar blanket in there. A lot of people that have a ute and they put a tinny behind it on a trailer, and they want to hop over to the little islands, spend a few days there,
just put it in,
come back. So they have it in the back of their ute, the fridge and everything going. Then they hop into the tinny,
bring it all in.
Fridge, battery box, solar blanket in the tinny, set up tent or swag on a little island, just have the solar mat folded out, and they just stay for a few days, and they got enough power to run the fridge. They can charge their phone or their little sonar that they use. And
mate, it sounds like my kind of vibe. I just need a boat.
It actually works quite well for a lot of people.
Cool. And so what's the plan with the business at the moment?
At the moment, we are getting ready to move out of here, because we've outgrown this place, even though we've only moved in here like 3 years ago.
There's a lot of stuff in a very small place here.
There is, and it's only a fraction of what we're actually dealing with. So a lot of the stuff is on the website, which is being expanded all the time as well. Yeah, right. And a lot of big gear like fridges and stuff like that, we just don't have any room for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So bigger premises,
bigger showroom,
bigger workshop.
Yeah.
Get it all a bit more professional. This started 3 years ago just with Verena, my partner, and me in here. And for the first half year, it was just the two of us in here.
Really?
Together, really. Me in the workshop, she was in the showroom selling things, and then it really exploded.
Family business, mate.
Yeah.
We love that.
That's right.
So look guys, if you do want to chat with Heiner about something, or come into the showroom, or book your car in, details are below in the comment section, so get in touch and stay tuned and see what happens with this build.
Cool.
Thanks, great.
We're all friends here together. Tap on my feet, and it warms us up inside.
G'day guys, so the boys have given me the call, they've finally finished the setup. By finally finished I mean they've worked like day in day out for the last 2.5, 3 days and smashed it. Got rid of the absolute chaos of a system I had beforehand and tidied it all up. It's exactly what I'm after. It's sleek, it's simple, and it's just going to be so effective when I'm out remote, when I'm out bush, and it's just going to do everything I need. So, Heiner, mate, tell us what you've done.
So what we've done over the last days is we took your old lead acid battery out of there.
Yep.
And we replaced it with the Amtron 150 amp hour lithium battery in there. That should easily give you 3 times the battery capacity now.
3 times.
Yeah, because you can use full 150 amp hour of that battery. Even your old battery was 100 amp hour as well, but being lead acid, you can only use about 50% of that. So it only really gives you a 50 amp hour battery,
Yep.
while that one you can use the full capacity
Amazing.
of the battery. So
I'll try to keep some charging.
that's what we put in there. We also put your primary fuses in there for
Yep.
the DC hub and for the inverter that is under your rear seat that you can access from the front if you want to charge while you're driving laptops.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Whatever
kind of
you're
what I
using
need,
there.
like just on the go, especially when you're filming.
Yeah.
To be able to just grab a drone battery, off charge, straight in,
Yeah.
or new GoPro battery, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Brilliant, that is there. There's also the shunt that we put in there because you had a fair bit of room in there. So instead of mounting it outside of the box, it's all very well secured in there. So you got your primary power distribution, your
Yep.
battery, and your shunt. That is all behind the drawer system, or inside the drawer system, behind the drawers, right in that cavity there.
Beautiful.
Then we've also put the Redarc manager with the Red Vision display.
Yep.
So you got the display here. There's no switching in it. It's just monitoring, so you can see how much you've charged through solar. You can see your battery level. You can see where the current is going to when things are running or current's coming from, and so on and so forth. It gives you really nice control. Plus, it's got Bluetooth connectivity, so you can download the app on the phone and you get pretty much the same screen when you're driving along.
Amazing.
From the front, you can see what's happening in
Yeah.
the back. But then when you're camped and you're usually doing things around here, you've got control and you can see what's happening over
So
there.
while I'm driving, I can see that the beers are cold, the fridge is still on.
Yeah.
Sweet. Wow.
Yeah, you've got the new fridge anyway, the new CFX3.
Yeah.
I think that's got its own Bluetooth interface, so you can even monitor fridge temperature while
Mate.
you're driving along.
All the bloody tech. Too much tech for me. I'm not a Land Cruiser, not a Lexus.
Mate, you can use it, you don't have to. It will, honestly, even if you don't touch the display at all,
Yeah.
it will still work. It's just to
Awesome.
give you information when you want it.
Yeah, it's
You know,
there.
if you don't want to, just don't touch it, don't look at it.
Sweet.
All your switches, everything is stayed exactly the same.
Yeah.
But we got rid of all the fuse boxes. There were some fuse boxes, power distribution on that side. Same on the other side. We've taken all of that out. We did extend cables where we have to, and then we've used the Egan DC hub as your center point for all the electrics. So all your fuses are now in there in the Egan DC hub.
Amazing. All in one place.
All in one place. So the only fuses you've got now is the 2 big primary fuses there.
Lovely.
Everything else is on the side there, easy, accessible. And just in case you blow a fuse, there will be a LED coming on to
Yeah.
indicate which circuit has got a problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
makes it easy.
So it's like basically.
So if you see a
it's
red
street
light,
map,
yeah, if you see a red light, there's somewhere something's not right.
Okay,
And you
cool.
go like, oh, that's where the problem is.
Cool. And
And,
they'll call you and go, yeah, now what does the red light mean?
Well, there's spare fuses in there as well, so it's
Yep.
got its own little spare
Oh, really?
fuses,
Okay.
fuse holders on the board itself.
Yep.
So you can just go take one out, put
Brilliant.
another one back in. But
Yep.
usually, if the fuse blows, there's a problem, and it's
Yeah.
most likely going to blow again when you just put another fuse in. So,
So find the problem first.
yeah, it's usually a good idea. We've also put a cable channel underneath. We always use these gray cable channels where you can take the lid off, run cables in, because with the Egan DC hub you can quite easily add things in
Yeah.
the future because there's still spare fuse holders left.
Cool.
And with the cable channel underneath it, it's quite easy to then also add the
Right
cable
there.
to it. Just take the lid off, run a cable in, connect it.
Not
Put a
having to
fuse in.
undo a shitload of tape, put
Nah.
a new one in.
No.
Take it back
Usually
up.
what we do is we cable tie the cables
Yep.
inside that channel so
Yep.
that when you open it up you don't have 20 cables
They're
just
all
dropping out
together.
on you, so they're all cable tied together.
Yeah, good.
So when you add another cable later on, just put a few cable ties around it and that's it.
Amazing.
Cool.
And-
And yeah, and we've also added your reverse camera right
Reverse
there.
camera up there. I can finally see what's going on with these panels in the back. So no more hitting. Well, I haven't hit anyone yet. No more chance of running over stupid people walking behind reversing cars.
Yeah.
Um,
So your monitor is right there. We made a bracket to come off the rear view
Yep.
mirror mount, so we didn't have to drill holes or something like that. Just made a little piggy
Amazing.
back bracket, and now you've got your monitor there exactly where the rear
And
view
I
mirror
can
is.
just pivot that now to
Yeah.
the missus and go, yeah, tell me if anyone's coming.
That's
Easy
right.
job.
Cool.
Mate, that's amazing. So, with all the gear for your DIYers on watching this, all the gear that you used, all the cords, fuses, everything, you got it from in your shop?
All in our shop, yeah.
In your shop?
Yeah. So for jobs like these, we usually order the main bits and pieces in, but we
Yep.
still always got at least one of in the shop as well of the bigger bits like
Yep.
the Redarc Manager,
Yep.
the Egan DC hubs. We got plenty anyway.
Yep.
All that sort of stuff we got in the shop, but all the little bits and pieces, the fuses, the cables, the brackets, glands, and so on and so forth, it's all available in the shop
Just through that door.
just through the door.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Makes it easy for us.
Instead of sitting
We don't have to
calling
wait
up
for
and
parts.
wait for couriers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and same for people if they, if you guys do an install and you need things, it's all available in the shop there.
There you go, guys. And look, if you need help, obviously not a detailed layout of how to do the whole thing. That's where you get the professionals in. But if you need help as well, these guys are always here to kind of guide you through your DIY process. Come in the shop, grab what you need, chat to the boys, and go home and have a practice and see how you go. Or if you've got the bigger projects, then of course call them up and book your car in and have an incredible setup like this.
Cool.
Stoked, mate.
Brilliant.
Thanks so much.
No worries, mate. Cool.
Time to hit the road.
Put your drawers back in there.